in this Calm Club loosening session, we're going to get in touch with our inner baby, come to a movement which is really lovely for just unraveling the patterns of stress and on constriction, the way we hold ourselves, that we gather up through our lives and start to become a part of what we see as us or our postural habits. And unraveling patterns is often what we need to start to create a new story with anything, however we look at that, mental, emotional. Here we're unraveling back to a pattern that we had. It's how babies first learn to lift themselves up from the ground, and that imprint is still in you, in us. So we're coming back to that beginning place, an unraveling of all the stuff we layer on, if you like, just to feel a real sense of this really primal, really inherent movement, and just trust that our body knows how to move, and offering it a connection with movement away from all of the imprints that we have. So firstly, I invite you not to think about this too much. It's a little challenging doing it on video because usually I do it in a class or a workshop situation and I don't demonstrate it too much. So I don't really want to see people trying to get it right. So the more that you can look at this a little, close your eyes and be inwards. If closing your eyes doesn't work for you, it doesn't feel safe, of course have them open. But it's much more about just feeling with your body what feels right. So if you listen to instructions I give for a little bit, but try not to know it, rather just feel your way through it. And then you can have a sense of play, a sense that it's not that important to get it right or wrong, it's just some rolling about really at the end of the day. Okay, so we're going to come down to laying, and we'll spend a few moments connecting, rolling yourself kindly onto the ground. Place your hands onto your belly, letting go of all the information that I've just said. If you want to come back to it, it's here for you to come back to. So trust that. And now dropping into a deep sense of what is here in your belly. You'll notice your breath is here to a greater or lesser extent. That feeling yourself held up by the ground is here, again, to a greater or lesser extent. But feeling yourself arrive in your physicality, where you are here and now. And take a few deep inhalations. Sighing out any sound that just falls out. I do invite you, if you're doing this on your own, away from the video, just to do that as many times as you need. The loosening practice in its own right is very effective. And then reaching out on the floor, just have a little movement here across the lower back, moving your knees from side to side. And then drawing your knees up into your chest. Letting yourself settle. And then we're going to start rolling, really simple roll from side to side. Keeping the head on the ground until you really need to bring it up. And we're going to start by letting your right leg settle out. So you're coming towards me, drop it out. As soon as you do, picking up your left side, bringing it with you, and the right knee going right up into the chest to roll up through the belly. And unraveling that right out to the center, taking it to the other side. Now your left knee draws right up into your chest and you can roll up. So I'll keep instructing the really key points as I go along, mostly just letting your body get into it. So the top leg, be pretty passive, really key thought, instruction as you go along is that the leg that leads, the one that you're rolling onto, moves right into the chest, so you can roll the chest onto it. Then you can start to find that you need very little pressing onto the arms, if any, to come up. Eventually you really don't need any because you're just lifting up through the belly from the platform of that leg on the bottom. And notice if you're kind of trying to hoik yourself up with the top leg, let that top leg be passive, and then you'll notice that it is the belly that draws us up. And it's in this way that babies start to strengthen themselves posturally up through the belly. So before they start to make this movement, or different movements to come up, there hasn't been that having to lift themselves vertically from the ground. But this is where starting to really engage that relationship with how we rise up through the front spine, through the belly. So it might be that you just even come to a little bit, you start to get that. But it's better to come to a lesser point and feel that it rises up from here than kind of push the leg out or press the hands down and force yourself up. So that's something you've been doing. Just let that go, let yourself soften here now and just feel that lift up through the belly. No press on the hands. So you're just informing where the motion comes to, and rather than attaching to the end point, rather you let the movement evolve over time. And it might be days, weeks of just getting to about here. That's fine. As long as our attention stays in the belly and it has that intention of moving up this way rather than just forcing any way that kind of gets the job done, then we start to unravel patterns, and we unravel that holding on, attaching to ways of doing things that are hard and rigid. Lovely. So I'm going to leave you to roll a little more here. You can watch you rolling if you like, but again, don't get too attached to working out the form. Much better to be creative and play, even just roll about in any way that feels right for you. Letting your breath flow and enjoying it, however it is for you. It might not look like mine. Just enjoy whatever it is. Now you can come up from here to sit, to come into any movement practice from here. But you can also lay back down, back into constructive rest. You might feel you've travelled, like I have done. And just coming anywhere that feels right, anywhere you can tune into the body. And the settling into a more meditative practice, laying or seating. Just to feel that space coming back to clarity that those kind of movements can bring. Or moving into a different movement practice where you can really feel that integration and connection from really what makes us human, deep in the belly.